Good afternoon. My name's Tony Cardenas, and this is the Indianapolis Real Estate Market Weekly Update. Today I'm sitting here with Shelly Walters with EXP and Justin Griffith with Keller Williams and our good buddy, Kyle Morris. I think he's hitting the golf ball, don't you?
Definitely hitting the golf balls.
Really?
Definitely.
He's doing a team bonding event.
Good. And then Greg Cooper will be on the show later this week or next week. But let's talk about what's happening in the market, Shelly.
Okay, so we're doing our stats again for the last 7 days. And with Carmel, they had a total of 61 homes were listed in Carmel in the past 7 days. Already 50% of those have pended as of this morning at noon. And the active homes still left 31 from those last 7 days. Average sale price that was listed was $199, all the way up to a new listing of $9 million in Carmel.
$9 million.
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh. Where's that at?
We'll have to keep our eyes on that. It's in Laurelwood.
Oh,
I think I
Laurelwood.
remember that was what it was. So that will be an interesting one to watch. But also for Carmel, I looked to see just for the past years, last year, 2021 compared to this year. In 2022, as of January 1st through today, we have sold 443 properties completely closed out. In 2021, we had 522. So we're down by, a little bit in our averages of what sold last year.
And this is a spring market too right now. I mean, we're just kicking off really.
Right. Well, that was day to day for last year compared to this year. So we're down by 80. Yeah.
Okay.
So that, kind of goes along with everything we're saying. And in Westfield, there were 48 that were listed in the past 7 days, and pended were 31. So we still have 17 of those out. So more of those sold in Westfield on average. And the average price there the listing prices were $315 to $2.3 million.
Wow.
In Westfield, the amount of houses that have sold in 2022 so far to date is 439, and in 2021 it was 431. So we're even in Westfield on the sales. And then last was Zionsville. The amount of homes again listed were only 14. 8 have pended already, so 6 are still active. So still, if you're out in Zionsville and thinking of selling your home, you will be in no company to get your house sold. So the next, with the prices, they were listed at 270 all the way up to 920,000. And for their stats, in 2021, 209 had sold by today's date, but only 169 have sold in 2022. So Zionsville is also down in sales compared to last year.
Yeah, and you got your interest rates right now hovering around about 5.40% to 5.5%. So, it doesn't look like that's really stopping our market right now. Okay. It just maybe is hurting some of the new buyers that wanted to buy at, 250 and 350. Okay. So let me ask you this, Shelly. What do you see in this summer market for the people that are selling their homes for $400,000 and wanting to move up to the $600,000 home? Is that happening? Do they only want to move up a couple $100,000, or are they going from $400,000 to $700,000? What the person that's selling their home for $400,000 or $500,000 right here in Carmel that want to buy another house? How big of a jump are they doing right now in the market? What are you kind of seeing?
Well, I don't know if there's an average of that at all, but what we have to look at is whether or not, I think you can throw those numbers together in your head faster than I can, of if they're trying to sell their house, a $400,000 house, and upgrade or get to a larger home.
Right.
If they are purchasing a $600,000 or $700,000 house and they were at a 2.5% interest rate or 3% interest rate on that house that was $400,000, and they want to buy a $700,000 house at today's rate at 5.5%, did they make a lateral move in regards to payments?
Who knows? Who knows what their equity position is? But that's a very, very, very good point. Justin, let's talk about the market down here in your Broad Ripple, Meridian Kessler, and the downtown Indianapolis.
All that fun stuff. Yeah, Fountain Square, the past 7 days, we had 9 new listings, 6 of which is pended. And there are still 28 active listings in the market. This year, we've had 1 closing in the past 7 days. Last year, we had 7. So It's down quite a bit. Bates Hendricks, we had 8 new listings, average price of $245,000, 5 of which are pending. And we had 4 sales this week that were at $386,000. Last year we had 14 closings at the same period. So everything's down significantly. Next up, we have Meridian Kessler. We had 16 new listings.
Now, that's a big jump in the last few weeks. I'm
Yeah.
telling you that right now.
It's up quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Average price is $499,975 per my board.
Really?
6 of which are pending, and we had 9 closings in the last 7 days, averaged at $350,000. Last year we had 20 in the same period.
Wow.
And there's still 9 active listings in the market.
So what do you see in your arena and the downtown market? It looks like it's starting to open up a little bit. It's getting a little bit more aggressive as when it comes to listings, because we didn't have these kind of numbers a few weeks ago.
No, it's definitely picking up. Springtime always gets the ball rolling with people starting to get out of school, kids getting out of school, relocations, things of that nature. So we are seeing an uptick in that, but we are still down quite a bit from previous years.
Okay. And I remember we were talking before the show about the container homes. What's the low price on container homes in the metro market right now? And how many are there that are like under construction or available right now?
Right now we have 16 in the queue. So they're anywhere from downtown. We have just got approval in one of the suburbs. I don't know if we're allowed to mention it yet because it's still pretty early on.
Okay.
And then we got a couple commercial developments going as well. So it's definitely picking up, but the prices start at $190,000 and they go up to $700,000-$800,000 depending on the lot.
So you can actually buy a home, a container home for $190,000. You got to buy the lot too?
Lot 2, yep.
And then so
all in, you could be $200,000 within the city limits. Brand new construction, 1,000 square foot container home, brand new.
Can you have somebody who has a lot they'd like to build on? Can you have them just?
They'll build on any lot as long as there's no kind of stipulations with the association or city. And like with Fishers, we had to go submit to Fishers, wait on their approvals and things of that nature. But they like what's going on too. So
Justin,
see something pretty soon.
For the container homes, you're in charge of this when somebody wants to buy one. Am I correct?
Yeah, the sales. Yep.
Okay. And Shelly, have you ever had any experience on container homes?
No, but the only thing I've done is seen them in person, and I love them.
I want to go down there at one of Justin's container homes, and I want to do a podcast down there.
Let me know. Come check it out.
We'll do a video
going live on Airbnb this weekend. But yeah,
what's that cost to rent that thing on Airbnb? Do those rates fluctuate every week?
Fluctuates with the season and week to week, but
and
expecting
it's the month of May.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh wow! So I mean, you could be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a night.
Okay, since you brought up the month of May, are you going to the Indianapolis 500 this year?
I would love to. I haven't gotten that far yet.
And Justin, are you?
I will be attending the Snake Pit.
The Snake Pit. Oh my Lord. Okay, so
I know Carb Day for sure. We're going.
Okay, so let's talk about the outlook for when do you think these interest rates? Okay, because the Fed's been talking about rate. Have you lost any customers in the last 2 weeks because of interest rate, or somebody you finally connected with said, "Hey, I don't qualify anymore"? Tell me what your experience.
Have you?
I actually have a client that was going to list their home and decided not to because they realized that it would be a negative move for them, even though they can cash out with all of their equity right now. The interest rate's going to be so much higher, and they're not comfortable with that monthly payment.
When he was talking about that, I was like, doesn't it mean that at this point, potentially, there's a bunch of lateral moves happening that they just will stay in their home? Right. They won't move. So the sellers are maybe more of an issue that we're looking at now with these interest rates is they won't move now.
Right. So, Shelly, let me ask you a question. You have sold a lot of properties down on Sweetwater Lake, right? Uh-huh. What's the minimum you can buy a house for? That's normally a second home, right? For most people.
Yeah, but it's becoming a more and more full-time home because of COVID and everybody working from home. We did have a lot of people who turned their second home into their primary home and had more people requesting to see houses for it to be their primary
What's
home.
the low price at Sweetwater Lake if somebody wanted to buy a vacation home or had any questions for you to talk about a vacation home?
The prices right now depends on the lakefront. So lakefront drives the price, not square footage and not everything else. It's whether or not it has great views. And also depends on the person if they want to be more open body or not, because if they have little children. So right now, I would say if you're going to have a pretty decent view and good water, we would be starting at 500, no less.
No less. Okay.
Couple, 4 or 5 years ago, 300,000 maybe?
Yes, you could get on the water back in the end of the cove for maybe 250.
Shelly had a house down there.
Yeah. So now, I sold the first house that went over $1 million, and everybody thought that was crazy. And now I know we've sold this year alone. There's been 2 or 3 sold over $1 million already.
That's awesome.
So the average price rate much higher in the past 3 years, but that's for the staycation. People really want someplace they can go and stay and not travel.
Right. Shelly, how many years have you been selling homes down on Sweetwater Lake?
For about 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just a cute little area and great place to just relax and get away. It's in Brown County. So we know how beautiful Brown County can be.
Yep.
Yeah, I want one of those little huts.
There's
Okay.
no little huts down there.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, all right. It looks like we got a lot of activity out here in the real estate arena. We are looking for a agent to bring in the stats for Avon and
West side.
Plainfield, the
Yeah.
west side. Okay, so if someone knows an agent that would like to reach out to us, send us an email to TonyIndy@gmail. That's a good place to start at. And then we'll reach out back to you to see if we can put something together. Justin, if they want to get a hold of you and talk about container homes or homes in downtown Indianapolis on Broad Ripple, that's a hot market right now. How can they get a hold of Justin Griffith with Keller Williams?
The best way to reach me is my phone, 317-507-5599. Call or text at pretty much any time.
Okay. Shelly, give us, you're with EXP here in Carmel, Indiana. I know it's the Shelly Walters group. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. Shelly, if they want to get some information from you and EXP, how can they contact you and then take us out here, Shelly?
You guys can reach me on my cell phone at 317-201-2601. Have a great day and a great week.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey everyone, Holly here. Thanks for listening to the Indianapolis Real Estate Market podcast. Need a professional real estate agent? Reach out to one of our realtors on the podcast. Greg Cooper with Compass Real Estate, Shelly Walters with EXP Realty, Kyle Morris with FC Tucker, or Justin Griffith with Keller Williams. This podcast is sponsored by America's Best Mortgage by PRMG, 317-214-6720, and executiveportfolio.com, the #1 real estate magazine in Greater Indianapolis.